Hi, everybody. I am SaberaMesia. I apologize for the screen blip. Don't mind that. I am going to be running for you Axiom Verge 100% in hard mode, apparently. So thanks, question mark, for that. A quick thing about the 100% category in Axiom Verge, because Axiom Verge displays both map and item percentage at the end of the game. We do get every map tile in addition to every item. We also do an all bosses run just because, and for that reason, this category is often called IMB, items, map, bosses. With me today, I have the person who convinced me to run this category in the first place, specifically who bullied me into it, Willow. Willow, would you like to say hi?
Yeah, hi. So my name's Aria. Most people call me Willow. I'm a former IMB runner. I'm one of the developers on the randomizer, which is available in your copy of the game right now. And I also built a screaming toaster once. And I think those are the only relevant parts. Sabera?
The screaming toaster feels very Axiom Verge, so good job.
Thank you. I gave it a music video.
Amazing. All right. So as you can see, the difficulty is set to hard mode. Our checkpoint HUD is on. Our web tracker is off. We are ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go. So a couple things about hard mode in this game. Trace takes more damage from enemies. Enemies have more health. Bosses move faster. And enemies drop less health. So all of that is fun and results in some interesting routing changes. Willow, would you like to talk a little bit while I do the Brinstar climb?
I would love to. So we're Axiom Verge is divided into a number of different sub-areas. So the one that we start in, we also met the Uwu incentive, is named Ewabu. Why do I have to say this? So Sabera's going to be going up here, and like any good Metroid game, she's going to be jumping up a long tower and going to go get a gun. So this gun is going to be Nova. Axiom Verge has many different weapons. The first one that we call Red Gun, and that's what you're going to be seeing. The other one that the other two that you're going to be seeing are going to be Kilver and Flamethrower. But she's just going to go up here and get Nova. Because this is hard mode, the damage route in this room doesn't necessarily work. Normally, you're going to take a number of damage boost, although that was super clean.
Oh my god,
wow.
I cannot believe that worked.
This is hard mode?
Yes, this is hard mode. You saw me do the thing.
And yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so that wasn't supposed to work, but it did work.
That was a ridiculously clean Brinstar climb.
That was really good. That's 127 exit to menu.
Yeah. So normally you'll see that happen at 128 or 129. But so now we have Nova. We're only going to use Nova a couple of times to open some switches. It is, and to kill a couple of enemies because it deals slightly more damage than Red Gun. So I'm going to switch to it here. I'm actually going to be using it in the next room to make drive-by snailing a little bit easier.
Drive-by snailing. 1, 2.
And in through this door. I crouched as I went through the door because it's a little bit faster. It's very hard to do except in specific places. 1, 2. Now we have to get every map tile, so we're going to duck into this save room so that we can get the 2 map tiles here. There's no good opportunity for us to come back here, and this is one of 2 save rooms where we can get both map tiles without any additional movement powers. So we are going to get this. We're going to move through the boss foyer. That's right, it's called a boss foyer.
It is.
And into the first boss, Zeter.
Yeah,
Hi,
Zeter has a... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, whoops. No, go ahead, please.
Zeter has a fun quick kill strat that doesn't really work in hard mode. It is entirely based around Red Gun. You wait for him to kiss the wall 3 times on the left, and then as soon as the drums come in, you move to this block. Now, because this is hard mode, Sabera's going to be jumping back and forth between the blocks, trying to dodge some of the bombs a little bit, and just ultimately laying as much damage as she can. One fun fact is that Red Gun, shooting this fast is not actually that easy. If you press the button too fast, it will not fire. So you have to be very precise on that. But that was a very clean Zeter. That was 255 in hard mode. We absolutely take that.
That is a world record IL for hard mode. My previous best was a 257. Yes, I have a laser drill.
So these blocks are one of the few things that don't take more damage in hard mode to kill, but they are affected by your damage output. So this right here is the power node that she's picking up, and you'll notice that she's going to be able to dig through these blocks much faster.
Yeah, power nodes have a fixed amount of increased damage for every weapon in the game, including your drill and your glitch gun, which we're going to get a little bit later. We'll talk about that. But yeah, destructible blocks and glitching things are the two things that don't require more input in hard mode. Everything else takes more damage. So the reason that, as Willow mentioned, the boss quick kill doesn't work quite right in hard mode is that the bosses move faster and transition between their phases faster. Like their simulation is just sped up by like 25% or something like that. And as a result, it's not possible for you to plug as many shots into the boss as fast as you normally would. We're now out of Ereboo. Oh, sorry, please.
Sorry, Sabera, I didn't mean to jump in there. I am just very curious. I see that there's a bid war at the moment for Trace's outfit choice. Could I have some more information about that? Because I have lots of questions.
Oh, yes.
Lots of questions.
So about 25 minutes into the run, we are going to acquire an item called the passcode tool. And the passcode tool lets us input passwords. Some of those are required for us to collect all of the items, but there are also a couple of fun cosmetic options. One of them is an homage to Metroid's Justin Bailey. So if you put Justin Bailey in, you get Trace in a Speedo. Wow, that was accidental and very smooth.
That was really smooth.
And there are several other options. There is an option for a Dick Tracy outfit and I think I accidentally called it the Terminator because we were talking about it. It looks a little bit like that, but it is actually Neo from The Matrix.
Dick Tracy's winning at the moment, $250.
Ooh.
But
Dick
we
Tracy
will
is
see,
actually
chat.
my personal favorite.
Oh, look at that. Oh, see, if you want to torture Sabera even more than giving them the hard mode, you can also pick whatever outfit choice you want.
Yes,
although I
indeed.
do secretly hope Sabera gets her choice.
I really like the science size one as well. It's also very nice. So there's nothing wrong with that one as well. Okay, so we are coming up here on the second boss, Talal. This is the second of two save rooms where we can get the upper map tile without...
A save, yeah.
Yes, without any movement. I need to take a safety save here because this is hard mode. So I am going to be damage boosting through the boss. And this boss is not capable of turning around. So I need enough health to do this. And because I take extra damage in hard mode, boop, boop, and jump, and good hit. Oh, that
Very
was
good hit.
So now we basically just put bullets into this boss's cauliflower. The strat works fine, but he moves a little bit more than we would like because it's hard mode and, you know, he cycles through things faster. So we're basically just going to follow him as much as possible. Oh, wow. Wow. He moved less than I expected.
Yeah, you didn't even get him to go all the way forward on the second round.
That is another world record IL for that boss, a sub 650 for this category. So that's nonsense. In this room, we're going to try to catch the first bubble. We get our glitch gun.
Oh, can I make a one minor note while you're catching first bubble?
Yes.
Welcome to Absuwu, everyone.
Yes, that is correct. This is Absu.
Or Absu.
All right. Good news, first bubble is free.
Free for everyone but me.
That is actually a relatively tight platforming sequence, but because the bubbles come out in a very specific pattern, you lose about 5 seconds if you miss that first bubble. Waiting for second bubble is bad.
You let Charlie live.
Yeah, I don't bother Charlie. Charlie doesn't bother me.
For the audience, Charlie is the sole enemy between that boss and a full health refill, and has killed many a run.
In hard mode, it's not so bad because we do take the save right beforehand. So this is Squid Room. I'm going to go for a perfect YOLO Squid Room. And there we go. It is really actually very difficult to weave between those bullets while continuing to move the entire time. And all of the enemies here, those bullets and these little shuttle enemies just like deal a lot of damage. So going into the next area, it's best if we have as much health as possible. We are going to have to take a mandatory hit from this enemy. Well, that was clean.
Yeah.
That was surprisingly clean. So we're actually only down about 1 bar of health. So that's pretty nice. This is a good situation to be in coming into Z.
Z with like 30 eyes. Are you still doing a safety save really early on for Anthill?
Yes, yes, that is absolutely something that's happening.
Excellent.
Oh no! Ooh. This is gonna be fine, but it slowed me down a little bit. There's a strat in that room where you can get boosted forward by that ant, and it saves you a bunch of time and a little bit of health. But it's okay. We are going to be taking another save here because we're coming up on a fairly dangerous room. Now, I'm not going to be doing the dangerous anthill strat because it's hard mode, and YOLO room is going to take a lot of my health, but we are coming up on... I did a YOLO squid room, but we are also coming up on a room that is called YOLO room. So we're going to go inside the wall. This saves about 73 years. It's actually faster to do a relatively aggressive and damage boost mandatory strat on that room, which is a swaggy thing that I would show off on normal mode, but not something to do on hard mode. That was a very clean dragon kill there.
Yeah.
This room has about 78 or 80 different strats for how you might do it. And that is the... Oh, jeez. Wow.
The fact that you can talk while doing half a Dragon Slayer YOLO on hard mode is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So we are going to... we're going to go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute.
Okay.
I want to get this room right.
Yes, this is Coral Room, and now we say hi to Coral. Hi, Coral. Bye, Coral. Perfect.
Oh, wow, that worked really well. So there's a little pixel jump on that very last coral that allows you to just hop right by it. Unfortunately, it was very cooperative. So I'm going to need you to explain what the heck is going on in Mission Impossible.
Yeah, so this is Mission Impossible. You're going to see this room a couple times. There's going to be a whole bunch of laser nodes that are going to be going around and disrupting her progress. Sabera's objective is to memorize as many cycles of this as possible and climb it, because as you know, this is a 2D Metroid game. There is also an inside the wall strat here. She will not be taking it. Those damage boosts are intentional. She is collecting health and she is heading up here. And we're going to be going up to a room that we call Juicy Room, and that is the objective of Mission Impossible 1. For reference, this is called Mission Impossible because it's a long, long climb and there are tons of lasers and Tom Cruise is there.
Yes, that's who plays Trace and I guess our imagining of this. So welcome to Juicy Room. It's called that because, well, it's juicy.
It's extremely juicy.
I'm going to take an intentional stall here. There are some good routes for not having to stall through that room, but they are pretty dangerous, and you can take a Pepto-Bismol bath. We'll be taking an intentional one of those later, but for right now, we really just want a sub 1130
Sub 1130 Jordans.
Yeah, so it looks like a Wi-Fi symbol. We call it Jordan's. That's our high jump. This will allow us to, one, get the upper map tiles and save rooms. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
And it will also allow us to reach the next boss. So we're going to do a bunch of running to the next boss, and now is a really good time for some donations.
Of course, I'm always happy to jump in with some donations, and we've had some fabulous ones come through. We have had Judah donate $5 to say, always happy to see a Sabera run. Good luck and have fun, and don't first bubble is always free.
Thank you, Judah.
We also have a donation from Aris TGD that says, best of luck, Sabera. Go hard and go fast, by which I mean go hard mode, of course.
Oh, thank you, Aris. I really appreciate it. Okay, I did that little pixel jump at the beginning of the room. That's called Zombie Jump. That's very hard, and I've never actually gotten it in a hard mode run before.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome to Awuku. This is going to be our next boss, and Sabera's going to do what we affectionately call the Pepto-Biz crawl, where you just walk through all this lava. So most bosses in this game have a semi-developer intended cheese. Right here, you can break his little nipple gun thing and spawn a block and then shoot him in the face. And he actually can't get you from here. So as long as you survive the crawl over, you are totally safe.
It's fun to note that this is actually not the developer-intended cheese for this.
That's true. The developer-intended cheese is in the top left there. You can duck behind those blocks and not get hit and take pot shots, but this is way faster.
Yeah, so that's about 17 seconds faster than my previous world record split for this.
Are you going to get IL world records on every boss?
Ideally, all the way up through Athetos. So we just picked up a modified lab coat. Lab coats are pretty swag. They also let us take less damage and walk through walls, which is a normal thing that lab coats do. Right?
Yep.
Right?
All of mine do.
Okay, good. So welcome to Mission Impossible 2.
Aw, not going inside the wall.
So no, this time we're going to take advantage of the fact that our glitch gun is faster than killing things, because stuff does not take additional glitch damage or require additional glitch damage in hard mode, only health damage. So it is faster to glitch those than it is to kill them. We get a nice little cycle here, and now we're up to Kerfus. This is the surface of Kerr.
Of course. With a W. Yeah, this is the surface of Kerr. So this is going to be a really deceptively difficult series of platforming challenges that she's going to go up against. So the main thing that she's aiming for right here.
Sorry.
What?
Fastillo.
Oh, Fastillo. Yes, she got Fastillo.
So that was actually a pretty dangerous damage boost to skip a cycle on those armadillos. It requires pretty good luck on the little crane game enemy, these like silk bugs. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
This is a really good
What
Kerfus.
is this Kerfus?
It's the best Kerfus ever, apparently.
This is the best recorded Kerfus on hard mode. What?
I don't understand. Come on, go through the wall. Thank you. All right, so we're coming up here to get Drone. Drone is our only friend in this cruel, dead world.
Sorry.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I mean, we do get... So we have two kinds of drone buddies. We have drone buddies and drone friends. And this one is the drone buddy. So it is our closest friend.
That's a fair point. So this is Mission Impossible 3. Now that we have the drone, we are actually able to go and get a really important item in the game, which is the upgraded version of our glitch gun, Address Disruptor 2. We need drone in order to do this. There is no way. I have tried really, really hard to find a way to get Address Disruptor 2 without drone. There isn't one. We just have to navigate through these little zombie tunnels, and that will enable us to glitch things that we weren't able to glitch before. It will also enable us to glitch things faster, which is also pretty nice.
How did that open the door?
Magic.
You popped that thing so early.
I do. I wasn't. I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you. Okay, so now our glitch beams are going to be red instead of blue. That's how you know that they're stronger. And we're actually going to go all the way back up to Kerfus again, because we have to go face the scariest thing in the game, a finicky glitch. So while we're kind of running up there, we actually probably have time for a couple donations.
Of course, I can jump straight in here. We actually have something very exciting because we have a new incentive open right now. Ooh. It is for Final Fantasy IV, and it is called Free Enterprise, and it is very exciting, okay? I bet if you're wondering what on earth this is about, let me tell you. So, what this is it's a surprise Zeromus sprite. So, Free Enterprise loves to randomize a lot of different non-run affecting things like harp song, but when rolling for a seed for yourself, the Zeromus sprite that you get is picked randomly out of a possible 600 plus available sprites. However, made custom just for this event, Scarlet Kitty, our sprite maker extraordinaire, has made a very special custom Zeromus sprite of someone very dear to our hearts here in the Frost Fatales community. A little bit of a hint, she may be on some of our wonderful shirts from the Yeti. And this sprite has never been seen before in the Free Enterprise. The runners haven't seen it. It's all very, very exciting.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Yes, it's a big one. We need to get up to $7,000, but I believe chat have got this under their belts easy.
Excellent. I highly recommend y'all chip in for that, because that sounds amazing. All right, so we're coming up on the most finicky glitch in the game. So normally at this point in time, we would want to fight a boss called Gertab. Gertab, wow. I really choked on that one. But the quick kill for Gertab technically works in hard mode, but it's very tight. And if we screw it up, we lose multiple minutes of time. So instead, I came up with an absolutely terrible way to avoid this boss, based on a different terrible way to avoid this boss. And this is Krill Rocket. This is a hard mode exclusive glitch. It is not used in normal mode because it strictly speaking loses time. And oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
Oh no.
All right, we're gonna. I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna have to release it and try again. So, like I said, this is an extremely finicky glitch. Trace was a little bit too low inside the wall that time. So I have to stick Trace inside of this inside of this overhang at such a position that I can shove him around inside of the ceiling a little bit.
This is a very, very precise glitch. Should I go into some of the reason why what you're going to do next works while you're doing this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Axiom Verge has a little bit of a strange out-of-bounds system, but basically Sabera's going to shove herself in this tile right here, and she's going to pop her drone.
Oh no! Why did it come out like that? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. And then she's going to move her drone over to the next room, and she's going to destroy it. This is going to cause the game to load the camera back to the prior room where Trace's body currently is, but he's going to be standing inside of the wall. The game is going to say that that's an invalid position, and it's going to shoot him straight up on the map until he is in a place where he can stand. It doesn't matter if this room is loaded or if it's out of bounds or anything. The collision is still there as long as it's on the same actual in-game sub-area as you. So she's going to be warping up to a room that's way up top, way past this boss that she's not supposed to be in yet, and she's going to just walk right out of it, and that will fix our camera. She'll be able to see what she's doing and load things correctly. This is called a displacement warp. We're going to be doing this a number of times in the run.
None of them are nearly as finicky as this.
None of them are nearly as finicky. Usually it's just put yourself in a wall that you yourself destroyed and then leave the room with drone and you're fine. This one is kind of a nightmare.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I like had it set up correctly and then I accidentally somehow like knocked myself out of it. Oh, are you kidding me?
I cannot stress enough how finicky this trick is. Would you believe this is the less bad version?
This is the less bad version.
What was the original version? It's been so long since I've seen that.
The original version of this involved pushing Trace on the floor with the krill into the door. And for whatever reason, the only person who is capable of doing that correctly in a way that actually gets you the intended result is the person who came up with it in the first place, Rare Beef. We're not really sure why. If you don't do it right, and since nobody knows how it works, nobody knows what doing it right actually consists of, you get sent to a random room.
Doesn't it have like a 50-50 shot of working even if you do everything right?
Nobody knows if you really did everything right. So why are you doing this to me? All right.
While Sabera's setting this up, we probably have time for a donation.
Yes.
Of course, I can jump straight in there. We have got some lovely donations coming in from your community. We had a donation from Las Lotus, $10, and says, "So glad I didn't miss it. You're a talented runner and a fantastic person, Sabera. Happy belated birthday and best of luck on the run." And I'd like to second that because it was your birthday. Was it yesterday, Sabera, I think?
It was yesterday.
So not only do we get to celebrate with you right now.
Hey!
Woo! Look at that. See, it was the birthday look. It's a birthday look. I love it.
All right. So that took a while. So that's more or less going to kill our world record pace, unfortunately, but that's okay. We move on with the run. So as Willow mentioned, now we are above the boss. So we don't have to fight this boss anymore, which is really great. So the reason that we wanted to go through this boss anyway is because we need the thing that gives us the most shenanigans in the game, and that is the grapple.
Oh yes, the grapple is very, very much big shenanigans per capita.
Per capita. That's one way of putting it. In order to get to the grapple, we have to go through the zoo.
Yeah, so welcome to Grapple Room. Grapple Room is like absolutely the worst. There are just altogether too many enemies in here, and you're going to see Sabera kill a pretty decent chunk of them to try to get up here alive, because there is realistically no way to bypass them all.
Oh, jeez. Ow. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Go that way, and now come back. Now give me your health. Mm-hmm. We do know, we have a pretty good health route through this room. For whatever reason, even on hard mode, the health route in this room is really generous. Which is uncharacteristic of hard mode to be generous about anything. Mm-hmm. I'm very surprised that I did not get hit there.
Yeah.
Just like stopped short of my foot. We're going to have to stop into this save room to pick up some map tiles because we're not going to be coming back here. So now that we're kind of at the top of this room, I still don't want to take hits from those. They hit very hard. We have to collect a whole bunch of map tiles down at the bottom, and if we had to like kind of go down and around, this would take a pretty long time. But we don't, strictly speaking, have to do that, so we can send our drone down to collect these bottom map tiles and then bring it back up. And then there is a fake floor right there. We're going to drop the drone through that. We're going to collect this map tile. And then instead of letting Trace fall all the way to the ground, which is sort of the intended thing that you're supposed to do in this room, we'll send the drone over to pick up our grapple, which is, as previously mentioned, a lot of shenanigans per capita.
Now it begins.
And then there's one more little item and map tile that we have to collect right here, and we're going to save warp again. And this is where the real fun of the run starts.
Okay, all right. So this is where things start getting really, really weird. So now that Sabera has the grapple, let me tell you a few things about the grapple. The grapple is poorly coded as a reference to the grapple in Bionic Commando, which is also poorly coded. When you are clinging to something with the grapple, you have one of 5 preset angles that you can be relative to the grapple. If there is anything standing between you and the angle that the grapple wants to snap you to, you just kind of go through it. It's fine. It's okay. You can, later on, very, very shortly, you can dash. Grapple allows you to get through a number of different things. You can grapple while going through doors to do yet more shenanigans. It's technically the fastest movement option if you attach it to a ceiling in front of you and then let go. You'll see Sabera doing a few of those. The TAS actually does that so fast that it gets way past the camera. Also, Scritchy Scritch. Hi, Araka.
Yeah, so this is Araka. Araka is our best friend. We give her Scritchies as we go by. That is what we do to pay her tribute for going fast. We are going to take a save here. This is not a safety save. This is a normal routing save for this.
Yeah, this is roughly in exactly the center of the map.
Yeah, I'm going to do a very minor glitch here. I'm going to grapple straight up, and then I'm going to go down through the door. And you'll notice that I just go down through the door at absolutely ridiculous speed. This is faster than going down through the door normally. So it actually pays to do that upward grapple there. The upward grapple is a little bit broken, though. You go through the door so fast that if you are in an area that has a music transition on the door, whether it's an area transition, whatever, the new music won't load. So we're just going to go through that laser barrier like that. We're going to grapple onto this door and end up in a room that's not supposed to exist.
Yes, so we're in Uwukan Na now. So this is going to be a series of tricks. Do you need an audio cue? Should I be quiet?
Yeah, I'm going to need...
Yeah.
Come on. Give me a hand here. Am I not on the ground? Got it.
There you go. Nice and easy.
So what I did there was I used my grapple to attach to the overhang of a door that's not supposed to exist in the room that's not supposed to exist so that I could clip downward into this save room, which is supposed to exist. And that takes me all the way to the boss of this area, who, kind of under normal circumstances, I would stop and defeat with my mind. But I wanna do this a little bit faster because we did lose some time to Krill Rocket. So I'm going to be manipulating the boss into exactly the position that I want. I'm going to drop this little bomb here, which is going to boot me to the left, which is going to save a little time on the next cutscene.
Very clean vision.
Thank you. 2810 with a long glitch time is not too bad. It is really a shame that Krill Rocket took as long as it did, because I had it in the right position, and I just kind of like...
Real quick, my notes here just say in all caps and bold, Ophelia tile! There you go.
Yes, thank you. It's really easy to miss jumping on that tile and getting it, because it's like a save room, but it's not. And there are other opportunities to come back and get it, but you don't really want to have to go back through that door again. So this is the we skipped over the hallucination version of this area, Uwukanna. And now we are in the non-hallucination version of it, where we can actually get items again. And there's a really important item in Ukanna. See, lab coats are spiffy and all, but they're not especially dashing. So we're gonna go get ourselves a more dashing coat. Before we do that, we are going to use another floor clip, though. We're gonna come over here and we are going to just embed ourselves in this little tunnel so that our drone can get over here and pick up this item. Now, we can't really jump out of this tunnel because our head is stuck in the ceiling. Or can we? So by using the print screen button, we can lag out the game, and that will allow us to pass through some things that we otherwise would not have been able to pass through. This is allowed in Axiom Verge speedrunning. It is not allowed in necessarily every game.
It's also not required.
Yes. We are going to use another grapple clip to backdoor into this room, where we are going to pick up the trench coat. And the trench coat is substantially more dashing, literally, than the lab coat.
So the lab coat allows you to go through one horizontal tile. The trench coat allows you to go through one vertical tile or two horizontal tiles.
Or two vertical tiles if you're feeling spicy.
Or two vertical tiles with the grapple if you're feeling spicy.
So with this in tow, we are now actually able to get through this and make our way up into the next area, which is called Eden. So we are actually, we're starting to come up on the point where the bid war is going to close. So if you want to put your finger on the scale for any of those outfits, now is a good time for it. Because as soon as the next boss goes down, we're going to close that. If the fine marathon organizers have not already... oh, what just happened there?
What? You hit the little tiny bit of the green that was just hanging free.
Oh, okay. So we are going to take a quick save here. This is sort of for safety, but it's not exactly for boss safety. We'll explain a little bit more when we get there. So these little blade vines are... Wow, that was something.
Yeah, those things hit like a truck. Routing through these rooms is precise.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize you could just grapple up there. That totally obviates the rocket jump there.
Yep.
Do you want to explain what a rocket jump is?
So a rocket jump is when you perform an up dash at the same time as your jump, and then you perform a second up dash, which will just have barely refreshed by the time you reach the apex of your jump. You're gonna be seeing Sabera do quite a few of those, and by that I mean like 3 in these next coming rooms, because she's going to go up against the one boss we can't who is named Uku.
Uwuku?
Uwuku? No, we always fought a Wuku.
Ukuwu?
Ukuwu? Wuku.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Anyways, she's going to be using rocket jumps to collect map tiles during the Wuku fight, because he is a big angry bee and his attack patterns are very predictable.
Yes.
Fortunately, you do have a setup here that allows you to actually perform the quick kill since you picked up an extra power node.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so there is a very, very consistent quick kill on this boss. It's not much harder in hard mode, but it is still a little bit because the timing's slightly different. But you're going to see Sabera here. Perfect rocket jump to get a map tile right there. Right up underneath the stinger. Good rocket jump to get the middle map tile there. And then she's going to glitch these little bees that he fires out of his other bee thing. And then...
Boom, and dead.
Perfect. Absolutely very clean uwu. Yeah, we're just calling it uwu now in chat, apparently.
Great. Okay, so now we close the bid war.
Awesome. So it looks like Dick Tracy took the win with $300.
Dick
Nice.
Tracy, very nice, excellent. Everybody's favorite detective. So the item that we get for defeating Uwu is the drone teleport. We can use it to get through these little tunnels. Sometimes you can just grapple snap your way through like that.
I love that little bit of swag.
And then you can just teleport Trace to wherever the drone is. There are several items that you can only get in this area if you are using drone teleport. There are no glitches that will get you to them. And so as a result of this, we used to actually climb all the way down this tower to collect these items after the boss, and then climb back up to set up a death warp. We don't do that anymore because I did something bad.
Yeah, you did. So do you want me to go into how a void warp works? Okay.
Go ahead.
Right. So yet more fun out of bounds shenanigans. So Axiom Verge.
I actually need a sound cue. Sorry.
Oh, yep.
Okay, hopefully I did that correctly. If not, we have our safety save.
Cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So whenever you fire your drone, Axiom Verge will record the position of the drone in its log, and then when you destroy your drone by either teleporting to it or telling it just to go away, then it stores that position. Now that position is relevant to the map that you're currently on. So 0, is at the top left of every single map in the game. So if you change your position, if you go onto a different map, those coordinates can be applied to that map by firing your drone out of bounds and then teleporting to it, and you now have Trace basically wherever you want. That was really clean. And welcome to the passcode tool. We're going to get to meet Dick Tracy here in just a very brief second.
Here we come.
And for those of you wondering, these are on the
call
wiki.
In Tracy. Ooh.
There he is.
It's everybody's favorite private eye. Is it everybody's favorite private eye? I don't actually know.
It's my favorite private eye.
Definitely the private eye that everybody donated for, or that the most money went toward. I promise I can speak.
You got this.
Yeah, so what happened there was I used the grapple to clip out of the room where I picked up the note, and then used sound cues to set up a void warp without being able to see myself, my own position, or the position of the drone. So dropping the drone into the right position was completely a matter of timing it appropriately. If I had mistimed that, I would have soft locked. I did not get the upper map tile. Now this time I put the drone up there for a specific reason. That is also a void warp, but I can see where I'm putting that, and I know the precise placement of that one. It's a little more lenient, so that one's going to be a lot easier. But that blind void warp that I did before is there's a reasonable chance of soft locking, which is why I took that safety save earlier at the bottom of the tower. I'm going to take another safety save in advance of another trick that could soft lock me. That trick, it's like required to do the way that we do it. There is a not blind setup for the void warp that I would have done if we had failed the blind setup the first time, because I wouldn't want to like drag y'all through that again. But we have enough slack in this that we were certainly able to go for the swag the first time to kind of show off a little bit, and it worked out. So
so she just did a void warp to get into this little drone mini dungeon here, and is now doing it backwards with Trace.
Yeah, and in the very near future, we're going to do another pretty wild trick, but we do have time for a couple donations as we sort of climb up to our next destination.
Awesome. Can I just say I absolutely love the costume, the Dick Tracer. I didn't know what I don't know what I was expecting, but this is better. SJH Does Games donated $15 to say, "Let's go, Sabera, Verge those axioms."
We're going to
really enjoyed reading that one. Have you got time for another one?
Yes, absolutely.
MJ Hay donated $25 to say, "Wow, it's been an amazing week of runs so far. I'm so excited I get to watch Sabera run Axiom Verge. She's such an awesome streamer, speedrunner, and friend. Good luck today, Sabera."
Thank you so much. All right. So we just picked up the enhanced drone launch, which lets us launch our drone farther and faster, which means that drone swapping is now, let me not forget to take the save.
Yep.
One of the fastest ways that we have to move around at the moment. So you will see me alternating that with my dash. We need to collect these map tiles. I can actually collect some of these by letting Trace just fall into them after I launch the drone, but before the drone hatches. Okay. Now I have to do something weird.
All right, so temple skip is relatively easy-ish once you get the timing. But it is very difficult up until then. So she's going to align herself to this door by firing the drone into it, not holding a button, and then she's going to jump, fire, grapple in the ceiling, and on the same frame-ish, or the next frame-ish, turn around and go through the door, and that applies the grapple coordinates to Temple. Because the grapple is really, really well-coded, as a reference to Bionic Commando's grapple being well-coded, it will drag you through walls because it is pulling so much force. So she is going through and skipping the most tedious, most difficult section in the game. We call it Green Hell. You'll see why as she goes back up through it.
Beautiful.
And there we go. Beautiful little bit of blind movement just to get through Green Hell.
I am a little bit surprised that I did that without hushing you.
You know what? Fair. I sometimes forget people use an audio cue for that.
I have learned how to count my dashes, and the dashes I can at least hear. So these are the most powerful drill blocks in the game. They are very, very resistant to the force of our drill, but not so much to the force of us skipping through them with dash. And now we have red coat. So red coat gives us extends our dash range by another tile. It also gives us ridiculous iframes, and it deals damage to everything it touches, including drill blocks.
It instant breaks all drill blocks.
Yes, and then the leftovers of the iframes. Whoa! Why won't you go through the door? 1 second. I have to input a passcode to get an item here.
Yep, so red coat, in keeping with our theme here, now allows you to dash through 3 tiles horizontally and 2 tiles vertically, or 3 tiles vertically if you use a grapple coat, which you will see Sabera do a couple times.
Yes. This is Green Hell. We avoided going through this without red coat, which is good because red coat not only gives us iframes, it also gives us extra damage reduction. And lets us move faster. So we moved through here without any of the enemies loaded in a reasonably good amount of time. And now we have just much substantially safer movement through here. This place can be really deadly. There are these... did I miss a...
I think you missed that tile, yeah.
Oh no. We got to go back for that
I've never seen that one be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally I just pick that up as part of my
I didn't know that you could miss that.
Yep. Also, we are in Ikumawa, for those that are keeping track.
Sorry, what? Ikumawa?
Ikumawa? Ikumawa?
I don't think you awa the ah. I don't think that's how uwu works.
No, you don't awa the ah?
You don't awa the ah, you uwu the oo, so it's
you uwu the oo.
Ekuuma.
Ekuuma. Got it.
Ekuuma. So the most recent weapon that we picked up is the worst weapon in the game. It's called Quantum Variegator. It is basically the things that those coral enemies spit out. Why do you not want to jump?
Vertical doors.
Yeah. It fires basically a random swim of Axiom disruptor particles. It is impossible to aim. It is impossible to get good damage out of because they don't do as much damage as the actual Axiom disruptor. It is just like a whole. Sorry, Axiom disruptor is the real name for red gun.
Is the real name for red gun? Yeah, those. Yeah, those little coral squiggles that you fire out of the quantum squiggler are absolutely useless because they travel in a largely random direction and have a tendency to pop themselves on walls because it's a bad gun. Axiom Verge has like 30 of those.
There are 20 weapons in the game. We use 4 of them.
Yep.
There's technically 23 if you count the secret weapons, but they don't appear in speedrun mode. They do, however, appear in the randomizer. Play the randomizer.
Play the randomizer.
So now we're going. So one of the things that you probably didn't notice because we didn't call attention to it was that we dashed through some gold doors while we were going through here, and those doors are designed to be opened when you pick up the Sudran key. Which is in this room that we're in right now. But because we did temple skip, we didn't need the Sudran key to get into where we got Redcoat, and it just so happens that those gold doors are 3 tiles wide. So with Redcoat, we can dash through them. So we just skipped that. But we do still need the Sudran key to get 100% of everything, so we had to come back for it, unfortunately. I'm really sorry.
All right. And now we get to say goodbye to Ikuuma.
Yes.
Forever, because this is the worst section in the game?
I did want to take a really quick check just to make sure that I didn't accidentally miss anything.
You got all the items, that should be all the maps, and that's it.
That's it. We're never coming back to Ikuuma. Ekuuma. That is really hard to say. But welcome back to Kuu.
All right, so now she's going to do Gertab.
Yeah, so that boss that we didn't fight before, we're going to do it now. So this is Gertab. He's a big scorpion. He sucks real bad if you don't have Redcoat, but if you do have Redcoat...
if you do have Redcoat, he is literally this free. You just show up and just dash into his underbelly and like, oh look, the boss is dead.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, also...
And that's Gertab.
So
that was a really clean up
That was
exit.
really good Gertab. Like, he jumped a little bit more than you want him to, but other than that, like...
Yeah.
So we now have all of our late game movements, so the things that you're going to see Sabera doing a lot. Redcoat dashing pretty much as much as possible because that makes us both invincible and dealing altogether too much damage. She is going to be drone swapping, which is a combination of a Redcoat dash followed by throwing out the drone, followed by teleporting to the drone, followed by firing either drill or address disruptor or your gun, and then you take a big breath, and then you fire your drone again. And that resets the cooldown on it, so you can infinitely chain drone teleports and drone dashes. This is going to be the fastest RTA viable movement that we have. In the tasks, she would just be spamming grapple everywhere, but you know, she is unfortunately made of meat.
That is an unfortunate thing. Human bodies are a scam. So we are doing cleanup in Kerr right now. And unfortunately, cleanup is sort of a weird animal. Because we left the map tiles in sort of a strange state. So we have to get all of these items that are kind of scattered about, and we do have to get all of these map tiles. And there's a lot of like falling tiles that we need to get in tall rooms. We're gonna fall here. I didn't quite get the map tile there. There we go.
Yeah, that one you can get caught sometimes.
Yeah, that one's a little rough. That was actually not a terrible cleanup for that room. Now, we do want to make sure that we get this item over here, because if we forget that, then bad things happen.
Did you intentionally
which is to say that we end up... No. I need to go back up here. Anyway, so please, thank you. We need to, again, get all of these, and...
Oh, that was clean.
And yeah, now there's 4 tiles over here that we affectionately call the Sabera tiles because Willow decided to name them after me. Even though I am far from the only runner who has ever missed those tiles or will ever miss those tiles. Now we're not actually done with her cleanup, but we are going to leave. I'm not going to explain. You'll see later.
That's pretty much it. Kerr is huge. You spend most of your time there. Welcome back to Eden. Which we're going to be doing this right to left, which is not the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, this is not intended.
And Eden right to left is not fun. However, she did just teleport through a zombie trigger there, so she did save your ears. Everybody thanks Sabera for that.
Yes, there is a really nasty zombie like right about there. Oh, geez. Well, that's not the one that we're usually worried about. Just casual, just real casual first try silo clip.
Oh, that was really good.
I apologize. Yeah, so that gets us through a big mess of glitchy tiles that we couldn't get through without this item that I just picked up, the address bomb. And now that we have it, we can glitch every glitchy tile in the game, which is great. But we also still have a lot of cleanup to do in this area.
This is technically a boss.
This is technically a boss. This is clone.
Or clone, all alone.
Oh, whoa. There is a trigger that can get you accidentally saved in this room. Normally I want to go through doors with the drone because it's faster. The size of your sprite actually affects how quickly you go through doors. But into this room, because I want to be able to glitch that worm as soon as I get into the room, so that I don't miss a cycle, it's important to go through as Trace. This room, I'm not going to be doing as much of my like fancy fast movement as I normally would, because for whatever reason, I have crash problems in this room, and that would be bad.
Only her.
Only me. I am the only person. Now, I am the only person. Ooh, geez, I should not have done that. I should not have drilled there.
You're fine.
We're fine. Everything's okay. I'm the only person who uses an analog input for the drill, and uses the drill to reset my drone movement. And I think that's why I have problems here. So just a little bit of fun lore about me, my history speedrunning this game.
Oh, you're going to see one of the very, very few inbound displacement warps coming up right here?
Yes. I think it might be the only... No, it's one of two.
Yeah.
One of two.
Yep, so you get to see that upwards displacement happening right here. She just pops the drone, goes back to the previous room. Now she's up here. What?
How?
Only we had explained that in great detail earlier.
If only.
That would have been amazing.
Oh, look, it's shards, a weapon I will never use.
Okay, so shards is actually like a decent weapon, but compared to our options in 100%, it's not very good.
Yeah, so, I mean, the thing here is that right now I don't actually need to be fighting anything. I don't want to be, like, using my weapons at all, because that means that I'm stopping, and can't stop, won't stop. So that syringe that we just picked up is, what's it called? Nano?
That is the no, it's not the hypoatomizer, because that's the weird tab weapon thing.
It's like...
I don't know. In the code, it's literally just called like tentacle syringe or something.
Oh, yeah. So whenever I'm at full health, if I start shooting, some tentacles will come out of my back and start shooting with me. Oh, I wanted to really quickly... Okay, yes, good. I did do a full clear of Eden. So we're going to save our game here. And this is going to become our hub for a little bit. This is another one of my weird little routing changes. So at this point in the game, we no longer need a central location to come back to. We need a location that is convenient for doing all of the things that we need to do in this specific part of the run. I've decided that it is faster to not glitch these. There's an item hidden in those slugs if you glitch them before they burst. Yes, gross, but also true.
So where do you take that now if you don't get that in Awuk and Na?
Flamethrower.
Flamethrower? Okay.
Yeah, just right
place
before
to get
flamethrower. Yeah, I think you were the one who suggested that to me, and I was like, actually, that's probably faster, because I have to glitch that one anyway.
Yeah, that's why, because you have to glitch it anyways on the way up there, so you might as well just grab it.
Yeah. So we're doing some cleanup, we're going to do a little bit of cleanup in this area, not all of the cleanup in this area, and we're also going to finish our Kerr cleanup and clean up all of Indy, which is the area with Araka in it, which means we're never going to ride Araka again, unfortunately.
Which is very sad, but you do get to see the most fun section of the run. It
is a pretty fun section of the run. So we are actually going to go back up to where we woke up after we finished the hallucination version of this area. And to do that, the easiest way, quote unquote easiest, is to climb this elevator shaft. We do need to get this save room, which we left from before. Woo. Kind of bonked there. And then there's this room here, which... Why did you dash there? Why would you do this to me? Why would you deliver me such a personal insult, Trace? And then we're just going to go right back down the elevator shaft. Going down is really fast because we can dash down and then fire the drone down. I hatched an egg.
Aw. Is that the first egg you've hatched?
No, it's not the first egg that I've hatched.
Okay.
The very first egg that I hatched was right after I got drone teleport. It was coming out of the health node in Eden, right after Uwu.
Also, while you're doing a little bit of Arabu cleanup, do we have time for donations?
Yes, we have time for donations.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I've been thoroughly enjoying this gameplay so far. I've been almost watching this with my mouth ajar. Like, what?
It's so much
It's
fun.
been fabulous. We've had some lovely donations in. We have had an $11.11 donation from Tempest Mask 1000 that says, Axiom 1 states the following. A. All algorithms are universal and valid regardless of whether they're executed. B. Cognition is a sub-algorithm whose behavior is to perceive properties of the parent algorithm describing it. Breath. C. Any algorithm giving rise to cognitive entities will be perceived as a reality by the entities described. And D. Sabera is an amazing speedrunner and a very kind person. Thank you for inspiring me to give this game a couple or so years ago. Oh, and make sure to give Araka head scratches at Indy. Although that was just a
Speaking
fabulous
of Araka,
one.
thank you very much, Tempest. So this is what we're doing instead of riding Araka, because we need to pick up these bottom map tiles, which we cannot do while riding on Araka.
This is also
so-
faster than riding on a rock.
That is also true.
Barely, which is truly upsetting. But this is, we timed it during practice for this. It was almost a full minute of drone swapping because you go fully from the left side to the right. Prior, you would take Araka to collect all of the upwards half tiles, then you would do drone swapping to collect the bottom tiles in pieces. But now we just do it all at once.
Yeah. And this conveniently takes us to the last place that we need to be in Kerr in order to finish out cleanup here. Now, in order to get back into Indy, to get here, we did actually pass through Arabu. So we are going to have to retread our steps a little bit when we get done with this area. But the good news is that we're going to be save warping all the way back to Ukana, where we took that save. So this is a big part of why that save is used in the routing. We are about to move somewhere called the Room of Pain. It is called the Room of Pain because the intended route through this is to glitch all of these floating purple krill so that they turn into platforms like the ones that we used for the krill rocket glitch.
It's the worst.
Yes. But if you have drone teleport and enhanced drone launch and a red coat, it's not a big deal. You just drone swap all the way to the top, because once you pop, you can't stop. Or I don't know.
Something to that effect.
So now we're done with Kerr. I'm gonna actually really quickly double check.
Yeah,
that.
double check the map on that. There will be 2 dots in the upper right corner if you've gotten absolutely everything. There you go.
There were 2 dots.
There were
If
2
you
dots.
did not see the 2 dots, that's okay. I did. But now we are going to go and do Arabu. So we do have to retrace our steps a little bit to get back to Arabu. That's okay. That's not a big deal. It's intended. It turns out that this is faster than what we used to do. So now we're going to see another inbounds displacement warp. So I'm going to drop Trace right here. So displacement warps are the fastest way that you can go up in the entire game because you basically move more or less instantaneously. As a result of that, it is faster to use this displacement warp to go up than it is to otherwise just go up. So we're going to wake up here. And later on, we're going to go down. So it makes sense to do that on the way up rather than doing it on the way down, which is kind of how we used to do it. I don't really remember how that came about. I think it was probably just like a not particularly optimized little like segment. We do want to save here. It is very important that we save here. It is not important that I get the upper map tile right now because I'll have an opportunity when I save warp next, which is a thing that we will be doing several times here.
Yeah, you're also going to be doing displacement warp there, yeah?
Yeah. No, I don't do a displacement warp there.
Okay.
I do a displacement warp up by a wheelchair room.
Got it. Okay. We're on our way up to best weapon right now.
Yes. Please go. Thank you.
Some lovely donations coming in here that I'm just going to take the time to read for you. Thank you for being patient with us. We'll be with you very shortly, not to worry. We had a $5 donations from Vivi to say, I want to see that special sprite. Me too, Vivi. And just a reminder on that, folks, that we have an incentive going at the moment for Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Surprise Zeromus Sprite. So, if you want to see that going, we need to raise $7,000. But I believe in you, chat. You have totally got this. And thank you already, Vivi, for the donation in there. Now, there was something I also wanted to talk to you about, okay, friends? We have a bid war open for the next run. So the next run after Axiom Verge is going to be Tweety and the Magic Gems. You heard that right. Tweety and the Magic Gems. And you get to select a character for this bid war. You can pick Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam, Daffy Duck, Mark Anthony, Porky Pig, or Sylvester. I am so invested in this. At the moment, Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam are drawing with $30. But can I get some love for my Sylvester? Come on, I'm a cat fan here. We had the dogs yesterday, didn't we? Let's get the cats going today. So make sure you're getting those donations in as well to select towards your bid war. Now, we've got so many lovely donations for me to read. We've got $25 from the Everlinda Details to say, you got this. And you know what? We have got this, haven't we, chat? We've got this. We've got another $25 from Joey Mack that says, really enjoying my first Fatales Marathon. Keep up the great work. You know what? I'm so glad that you're enjoying your first marathon, Joey Mack. It's my first marathon as a host, and you know what? I'm having a fantastic time. Now, let's have a look over at how those incentives and challenges are doing. So, of those 7,000 for the Sprite, for the Final Fantasy 4 run, we have, let's try that again. We have currently got $185. That's a big goal to make it to 7,000, but we've got this, and that Sprite looks so exciting. We've got to get in there, right? We had some more donations come in earlier from Ellie and Crustacean. $25 to say, gotta make Sabera work harder. Well, we certainly are making Sabera work harder, aren't we, right now? I'm sure that those tech issues will be dealt with very shortly. Big shout out to the tech team as ever. While I've got you here, we've got some more things just to go through. I wanted to talk for just a minute about Sega. So Sonic the Hedgehog is no stranger to going fast. From games to movie shows, comics, and everything in between, there's always something new speeding your way. Be sure to follow Sonic at www.sonicthehedgehog.com to keep up to date on everything the Blue Blur is doing and keep breaking those world records. All right, I've just heard the okay that we're ready to go back to the run. Can we get lots of claps and cheers in for Sabera as they continue their Axiom Verge run over to Sabera?
All right, I think that we're back. So I'm going to go ahead and count back in to reload my last save that I made, and we'll keep on keeping on. So we're going to go for it in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and restart the timer. So we now have the best weapon in the game, and I really apologize if you kind of missed it in the midst of the technical difficulties. But we have the only weapon that we're going to use for the rest of the game, the flamethrower. It is the I am going the wrong way. I got a little bit confused about where I was.
It's okay. Now you're going the right way.
Yes. Now I. Oh, whoa. I am going the right way. We have a bunch of cleanup that we need to do here in the first area. One of the things that I need to do is grab a map tile here before I position myself where those bubbles were and send my drone out into the next room. This is wheelchair room because there is a wheelchair here. There is also a note here that has something to do with the story of the game. We are going to be completely ignoring the story of the game and cracking our drone back open. This is going to displacement warp us upward as those bubbles respawn on top of us. And then we are going to come out through this door. This is going to take us to a place where normally we would need a passcode for. What just happened there? Go through the thing, please. And we're going to go into Thriller Room because it's Thriller night. And now we've got the tiles, so let's get the heck out of this room. Those zombies are terrible.
Yes, they are.
As you might expect, they're zombies.
And loud.
And loud. So this is the item that the passcode is supposed to enable us to get. This is the room where we are supposed to come in with the we're supposed to come into Thriller Room with the passcode. Through this room up here, there is a passcode up here. It's faster to displacement warp. Because that is the fastest upward movement you can get. And we didn't do all of the upper part of Ereboo back when we were here before. There were some things that we couldn't do. There were some things that we could do, but were slower to do. And so we're just gonna we're gonna clean up the rest of this area. We actually we can take a couple more donations while we finish this cleanup.
Of course, I'm happy to jump right in. We have a lovely $25 donation from Bean that says, "Thanks to all runners, volunteers, and GDQ for your amazing work." I couldn't agree with that more. And just a reminder as well that we have got those bid wars open for Tweety. And I saw your chat. I saw that I pronounced Yosemite. Look, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm going to blame it on the fact that I'm British.
We still have a little bit of time. We
still
could
got
take
some
one more
time.
donation. Yeah.
I didn't want to take any more time from you. I'm sorry. I've been enjoying it so much. We have some lovely donations. We've got $100 from Anonymous. Thank you very much for that. No message, but we appreciate that nevertheless. And we've also got another $25 from Anonymous as well. It could be the same Anonymous. It could be a different Anonymous. Nevertheless, all the money is going to the fantastic cause that is Malala Fund. Ready to get it back?
Thank you all very much for the donations. Yes. So now we go down. Now we go down this room. There is one more thing that we need to do here. So we're going to go ahead and glitch here. And then we're going to go through some more painful menuing. Now, the reason that we do this is because we actually measure through in-game time when we do this. And so while the menuing is slower, that bomb actually slows down the in-game timer for the entire duration of our menuing. So we don't lose any time on the outer portion of the menu, but the actual passcode input happens at normal speed. So we actually save some time on the in-game timer by doing that. And it is it's nonsense. But it has been deemed run valid. I did not actually intend to drop that bomb there.
It is probably my least favorite tech that is valid, as it just is excruciating and it makes our real-time splits just thrown off.
Yes, it's really nonsense. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the grapple thing there. So there's not gonna be any music for a little while. I hope you enjoy it.
We got some
I don't know why you would enjoy it. but
Let me get Cat Jam for silence.
Cat Jam for silence. There's a little thing in here that we need to get. There's Fruit Loops room. This is called Fruit Loops room because the enemies in here are Fruit Loops. Normally, you want to get through this room by glitching them into something that breaks the blocks for you. But Redcoat will break those blocks for you, so you don't have to glitch it. It's much faster to move through the room that way. This room, there is like no good movement routing for it because it's just shaped weird. So we have a couple of other items that are just sort of like buried in this little low area. Absu is probably, I want to say, the like windiest cleanup area in the game.
It's not the most fun.
It's got a lot of hidden stuff. There is some interesting tech in here. I'm going to leave Trace way the heck up there because this one is a pretty small room. We don't benefit a whole lot from Trace's dashing on the downward movement over there because it's of that big stair-steppy thing. You can just kind of leave him there. That was clean.
Yeah, clean squeeze.
Woo! Right through that. We do have to route in kind of like very roundabout ways for this area. Okay, so now we've hit a music trigger change, so the music is back. So that's what I meant about music not loading when you use that grapple technique.
Brief reminder to do attic.
Yep, thank you. We're gonna buffer that address bomb through there. That was very nice. So welcome to Attic. This is the area of the game where we are most likely to collect an item while the address bomb slowdown is going off. That was most of the way through the slowdown.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. You can start that like pretty much the moment you fire it, and it takes forever because the slowdown gets progressively faster.
Yeah. But so that is a good place to torture your reviewer. If you have a vendetta against the verifier team for some reason,
please don't.
I am not recommending that you do that.
I'll give you $5 every time you don't do that.
That's very generous of you. I'm constantly not doing that. You owe me a lot of money now.
I do.
But it's also one of the easiest areas to forget in cleanup, just because it's really tempting to want to rush into the prison area again. Which is where we are right now. So let's say hi to Elsa Nova again.
You're gonna give her that
hi,
Elsa
Nova. And there's one other kind of really interesting thing here, which is this room. This room serves as my gateway into a room underneath it. I think it's actually this tile. There we go. So again, with the grapple clipping, we need to reactivate the camera because if this room isn't loaded, the item in it isn't loaded. If you're not loaded, they're not loaded. We have to do that. And then that gives us kind of the most convenient way to kind of come back up and clear this area. Oh, geez. The hit there. Clear this area out. So we have a little bit more cleanup that we need to do in Absu before we get to some more of the interesting bits. If you have some more donations you want to read.
I want to interject real quick just first. Just to say Absu, now we can do donations.
Yes.
That was wonderful. I was like, oh, what have you got to say? Lovely.
Nothing of value.
No, it was everything of value. Everything of value. We've had lots of donations coming in without comments. We still appreciate those donations. Every money is to support Malala Fund. We had Viv with a $10 donation, Orion Zal with $50, Stephen with $15. All fabulous donations. We also had Portuguese D. Daniel with $7 that says, I love this game, haven't seen it for a while, so a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Lovely donations coming on in.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So we are actually going to take our last routing save of the game right here. So this is actually going to be our portal to the final area of the game when it is time to do that. So we're gonna use that for 2 save warps. The first one is actually just going to be a little local item collection down in this area. This is normally a little out and back, and we're gonna make it so that the back is just save warping.
What? I have never seen that zigzag though, like just to drop through that room.
Yeah, no, I do some things.
The schmovement.
There is some schmovement going on here. So next we are going to go back into Green Absu. There is a whole big section above us that leads to a room called Spider Heck. Remember that name, it will be important later. It will be on the exam. That was clean.
That was really good. I love to see that.
Yeah, you do love to see it.
Fun fact about this one, if you stand in that little cubby hole on the right and you just fire your drone, it lands right on the door.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So now it is time for P-Squeeze. Willow, do you want to talk about P-Squeeze? I need to make sure I get this map tile so I don't...
This is my sole remaining contribution to the run. P-Squeeze is where you go up through this little tunnel right here that just happens to be 2 blocks thick on that one tile. There you go. That's it, instead of going all the way out to the right, which is how we used to do it.
Yes.
It is called P-Squeeze because you are now an hour and 10 minutes into this run.
Yes, so you are probably holding it in. It is an homage to a strat in Kerr called G-Squeeze, which was invented by the inimitable OG G-Virus, who did not even know that the strat had a name.
And confirm, I asked him if it was named after him at AGDQ 2020, and he was like, there's a strat called G-Squeeze?
The answer is yes, it is named after him, but it is also not done in hard mode because if you do it wrong, you get damage bonk instead, and that is a point in the run where you really do not want any damage bonks. So instead, we bonk our head on the platform and call that cheap squeeze. So we have now finished most of Absu cleanup. And so we're going to move on to Z.
My notes here say do not forget the Alchemist node, so don't forget that.
Which one is the Alchemist node?
That could be any number of things. That man misses a lot.
That's not that helpful then, is it?
I believe it's the one above the 2 rolly green lads that's in the ceiling.
Okay, yeah. There's some good stuff that you could possibly miss in Z as well. We're gonna get our other syringe here, so now we get 4 tentacles instead of 2 tentacles. It's weird that you don't get 10 tentacles, but you know, who am I to criticize Tom Happ? So we are going to make sure that we get this map tile. I missed that on a recent run, which was very embarrassing. There is stuff up here.
This one.
Yeah, so this is the Alchemist node, I think. We are now back at Anthill. Anthill is substantially easier now that we have our movement. Of course, it would help if I hold the up button while I'm trying to shoot the drone. There is a little room off here. This is alternately called Moss Cave, the Menagerie for some reason. There's like 7 different names for that room, all which are intended to refer to the little jumpy bushes, and none of which is used consistently by anyone. And I don't think anybody knows who came up with any of the names.
Has been lost to time, yeah.
It has been lost to time. But you know, these are things that happen, right?
Oh, we're also coming up on one of my other favorite little optimizations, which is Swarp.
Oh yes, Swarp. That was one of my early contributions to 100%. So Swarp is a displacement warp that plays off of a different thing that we do for collecting map tiles. So we use a drone drop and recall at one point to get some map tiles in the room just before YOLO room. And it turns out that there's a good place for a displacement warp right there, which is here. So in this room earlier, we did not get the note that is hidden right here. It turns out that the very leftmost tile here happens to be flush with the door that leads into the boss room above, and there's some stuff that we didn't get there. So we can drop the drone down here, have it kind of weave through here, pick up these map tiles, and then when we recall it, we can just hold the right button, and that takes us right into the boss room.
Perfect weave there, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome back to Uwuku's chamber. We're going to grab this health note here, which you can do earlier if you like losing time and are also a coward, aka me.
Yes, it is a 30-second time loss to go back and grab that, if you can believe it. And if you can't believe it, it's still true. So...
Yeah, there are several tricks in this game that save multiple years off of your lifespan, but unfortunately not that.
They certainly take them off of your lifespan, that is true.
How does someone find that is actually a really, really good question. We have decompiled the game and pulled up the map file. And as it turns out, that gives you a really good overview, and you just kind of see what tiles are above another one. And you can also do this in-game by unlocking the camera. There is a debug menu in the game that you can access through the passcode tool.
Yes, the password for that is secret window. There is also another special hidden outfit if you put in secret jacket, but it didn't make its way into the bid war because it is not iconic like Dick Tracy or Neo or Justin Bailey, unfortunately. So this is our last little stop in Z. This is the maintenance tunnel. So normally we would save in that, or in the old route, we would save in that last save room in Z that I went through a little bit earlier. And upon completing maintenance tunnel, we would save warp back there. Then we would basically ride Araka back to go to the final area of the game. It turns out that it is faster to save warp back to Absu and do Spider Heck as the last thing before you go to the final area. And I'm going to do a quick check to make sure that I'm clear in Z. All right, I am not clear in Absu for obvious reasons. But so we save warp back to here and use that to head to the last area of the game. So what we are going to do now is just proceed up into the upward area of Absu that we haven't done before. So we have time for a couple donations while we do that.
Hi, Charlie.
Of course. Let's get going. We have a lovely $25 donation from Amelia that says, "Thank you so much for this event and to everyone taking part. Less than 3, and I couldn't agree more. I am thoroughly enjoying this event, and not only is it something we can enjoy, but it is all helping out Malala Fund. And let me just remind you about Malala Fund. Malala Fund is working for a world where every girl can learn and lead. With more than 130 million girls out of school today, Malala Fund partners with education advocates and activists who are breaking down barriers that hold girls back. So don't forget to get those donations in so we can keep up the hype." Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that was Spider Heck, the room with all the spiders in it.
Now
I'm getting scammed.
Yep. This door grapple is ostensibly free, but sometimes it goes off. No?
What is happening? Why is this happening?
Marginally early?
Yeah, this is a little wonky.
This is unusual.
There we go.
Hey! God, I love door grapples.
Okay. So now the room that was not supposed to exist is a room that is supposed to exist, so we can just go out the door. It also turns out that room has an item that we want in it, so we're going to go right back in the door.
Yeah, when we load into unloaded rooms, enemies, items, basically any and all entities that are not collision are not loaded into there.
You also can't collect map tiles in the room.
And you cannot collect map tiles.
So we do have to load back into there to do that. There is some cute little item buried way the heck down here. Also, say hi to Elsinova in her real, true, honest to God machine gun serpent form.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
And now we get to go to my favorite area and also the most ooh of all. Our ooh.
Yes, Mar Uwu. Oh.
That has not occurred previously. All right, welcome to Mar Uwu. Everything here hits like a truck. You're going to see Sabera do some relatively precise room routing go through it. Little grab coat right here to get up. And then she's going to grab the save room. Are you taking the saves?
I'm not taking this one.
Okay. So there are 3 bosses in Mar Uwu that we need to concern ourselves with. The first one coming up is going to be Sentinel. Sentinel in IMB is fortunately really easy because you just turn it into a pile of slag.
Oh no.
What these drones are being spicy.
Yeah, but that was I botched the movement a little bit there. We're fine though.
All right, and this, much like every other boss, you just shoot flamethrower into its face and then continue dashing into it, and then suddenly it dies. There is actually, are you going to go for the Hundo version of Sentinel skip?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So in Hundo, obviously, we have to fight all the bosses, but there is a skip for this boss. It is very precise, but in Hundo, it's super free because the boss is dead, no longer has a hitbox. Super free. She definitely got it right there. She didn't miss it. You grapple up into the ceiling and then do a grapple coat through the 3-tile thick ceiling, and suddenly you're on your way.
Yeah, so the destructible part of the ceiling that explodes when the boss explodes happens to only be 3 tiles thick, which you can't dash through with red coat unless you happen to be grapple coating. It turns out that if you're not doing 100%, you can use iframes to grapple through that and just go past the boss. And in 100%, you can use that to save yourself a little bit of time on the exit to that room.
Let's talk about hard mode in X2.
Yeah, so remember the first boss of the game who was pretty much a pushover?
I do.
He's back and better than ever. And I mean that quite literally. And also worse, way worse. But we have to fight him because it's an all bosses run. Fun
fact, this is one of the few enemies in the game that is capable of killing us at this point.
Yes, it is true. In hard mode, because you take a whole bunch more... Oh, wow, I took a little damage there. It's fine. All right, so this is Zetterhole. 1.
Right, this is a really hard quick kill, so...
3, 4, 5... there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, we're not taking it. We're going.
That's a really good amount of health coming out of there with, especially on hard mode.
So that was not the cleanest X2 quick kill, but that is roughly how it goes. It is possible to kill him on his first bombing run, which I did twice before starting this, and I'm sad that I didn't get it in the actual run. But it's okay. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. This is a reverse slicer, which is the second worst weapon in the game.
Yes, and it is also the last weapon in the game. So we're going to collect that. There is only one more item for us to collect in this entire game. And that is a note, if I remember correctly.
It is a note. It is a note that tells you about Flamethrower, which is a really, really mean thing to put in the last room before the final boss.
Yes. So this is Disco Hack.
Ooh, you got this.
Now we're fine.
There you go. Perfect. Easy every time.
So this is where the last item in the game is. We now have every item in the game, probably.
May I ask a real quick question of our
Yes.
host real quick? How do you pronounce that word?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, what was the word?
How do you pronounce the word that you now know how to pronounce, evidently?
Oh, you're in chat. I see. Okay, I've been practicing. Are you ready? Yosemite.
There you go.
See, got it.
We'll take it.
Very nice. All right, welcome to the final boss of the game. This is Athetos. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something real quick.
Yes.
Yep, we got it. We got everything. So in order to beat Athetos, we have to destroy these little green batteries that appear at the top. Since I'm not trying to PB, I'm going to cheese it. You can grapple coat through the top of this and just flamethrower downward. And because we have a million power nodes, It actually does not take very long to destroy these things, but it is impossible for me to be defeated by Athetos at this point because the only thing he does that does damage, these enemies that spawn inside his chamber, they can't come up where I am. So
time is going to be coming
on
up.
Fade to Black.
Yep.
After the boss animation, the boss death animation. So that is Axiom Verge 100%. Big shout out to the Axiom Verge community. Thank you very much to Willow for joining me here, and to my community and also Pleasantly Twisted's community for coming out and supporting. And time.
All right, let's see. 124.05, GG.
Thank you. That is a reasonably clean run. That is under my estimate for normal mode. What was my final RTA?
It looks like 124.09.9.
Great. Yeah, so that was about a minute under my estimate for normal mode. Thank you everybody so much for joining. I hope that you enjoyed that. It was really fun for me to be here. This is my favorite speedrun. And it meant a lot to me to be able to share it with all of you. And I really hope that you enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to Marathon organizers for putting together this great event and for allowing me to be a part of it.
Okay, friends, how awesome was that run? Absolutely beautiful and fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that. Thank you, SaberaMesia, for that. I just want to remind you about a lovely incentive that we have got going at the moment. It is Final Fantasy IV, the Surprise Zero Mus Sprite. And we still need to raise up to $7,000 for that. And we're on 310. So we've got this, chat. We've got lots of runs coming, lots of exciting things happening, and so much more to see. But alas, it is at this moment that I am going to leave you. We are going to pass on to another host after a quick break. I just want to thank you for having me today. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself, and this is not the only time I'll be here. I am very lucky that I'll be joining again tomorrow to start day 6, and I cannot wait for that. Thank you for having me. We're going to go to a quick break, but make sure that you stay put because there's so many runs left to see. Thank you very much, friends, and enjoy the rest of Frostfire Tales 23.
hosting the Goofy Block. We have so many fun games coming up, including Tweety and the Magic Gems, which is next, the Blue Marlin, Dark Souls Super Scent, and more. While we get the next game set up, I would like to remind everyone when you are donating to be sure to select a bid war or bonus incentive. And once you select that incentive, be sure to click the add button. While you're doing this, you'll also be able to see all the prizes you may be eligible for with your donation. Not only will you help us add even more fun to Frost Fatales, you're supporting an incredible cause, Malala Fund. Now, I want to talk to you briefly about this Tweety and the Magic Gems character bid war because this is our next game and this is closing rapidly. And I was prepared to start lecturing chat about how it was possible that Mark Antony was not winning this bid war. And someone came through and voted here, put their donation towards Mark Antony. You have to. Mark Antony, if you don't remember, is that big burly dog that has the cute little kitty that kneads into its fur. I was shocked that it was not winning. Anywho, this is your last chance to get into the character bid war. Currently, we have Mark Antony in the lead, followed by Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny. Anyone can steal it now, so get your donations in for that. And remember, all donations for this event are directly supporting Malala Fund. And speaking of Malala Fund, here's a short video for you to learn more about them.
5 to the 10, 5 to the 50, 5 to the 20, 5 to the 20.
मैं चाहती हूँ कि मेरी जो दलित वर्ग के लोग हैं, वंचित वर्ग के लोग हैं, मुसहर हैं, मुस्लिम हैं, इन सभी समुदाय के बच्चियाँ और बच्चे दोनों ही पढ़ लिख कर के बहुत आगे जाएं, जिससे गरीबी और सामाजिक रूप से जो बदलाव आना चाहिए वो आ सके।
India is one of the biggest democracies in the world. The challenges that girls are facing vary depending on which part of India you talk about. But in some places, you can get discriminated. You may not be able to get access to education. You may not be allowed to get into a school. Girls may not find a school nearby in her village, or she may not feel safe because there's the issue of sexual harassment or abuse when she goes from her home to school. This is something that needs our attention and that Malala Fund is right now working on.
मेरा नाम रीता है। मैं सामुदायिक कल्याण विकास संस्थान की सचिव के पद पे काम करती हूँ। मेरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का गोल है कि मैं दलित और वंचित वर्ग के बच्चों, विशेषकर महिलाओं और बच्चियों के लिए उनकी शिक्षा और उनकी आजीविका के लिए काम करती हूँ। हमारे जो ग्रामीण क्षेत्र हैं इसमें शिक्षा की स्थिति बहुत बुरी है। 8वीं के बाद बच्चियां जो हैं खास करके वो ड्रॉप आउट हो जाती हैं क्योंकि उनके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं होता कि उनके पेरेंट्स के पास इतना पैसा नहीं होता कि वो पढ़ा सकें किसी को। तो वो ज़्यादातर लड़कियों को वो घर के काम, खेतों के काम ज़्यादातर ये बच्चियां संभालती हैं। तो हम लोग जब मलाला फंड के साथ हम लोग काम करना शुरू किए तो सबसे पहले हम लोग यही देखे कि सबसे ज़्यादा ड्रॉप आउट बच्चियाँ किस गाँव में हैं। जिस जगह पे ड्रॉप आउट बच्चियों की संख्या ज़्यादा होती है हम पहले वहाँ पर सेंटर शुरू करते हैं और 6 महीने के बाद देखते हैं कि जब ये बच्चियाँ कुछ पढ़ लिख गई और उनको हम इनरोल करा दिए और इनरोल कराने के बाद भी हम देखते हैं कि वो ठहराव हो रहा है स्कूल में कि नहीं हो रहा है, तब फिर हम दूसरे गाँव में सेंटर को चेंज करते हैं। अभी तक हमने रिजल्ट देखे हैं कि 571 की संख्या हम अचीव कर चुके हैं, इनको इनरोल करा चुके हैं और स्कूल में इनका ठहराव हो चुका है। इस साल का जो हमारा टारगेट है वो भी इतना ही का है और फिर अगले साल हम देखेंगे जो बच्चियां बचेंगी उनका फिर हम इनरोल कराएंगे।
ये लोग सोचते हैं कि लड़कियां पढ़कर क्या करेंगी, कुछ करेंगी तो है नहीं, सिर्फ पढ़ाने से उनका पैसा खर्च होगा। और लड़कों को पढ़ाएंगे तो लड़के कुछ कर सकते हैं, उनको कमा कर खिलाएंगे, और लड़कियां क्या करेंगी, कुछ नहीं।
मलाला फंड के आने से जो हमारी लड़कियों पे और हमारी संस्था पे दोनों पे बहुत ज़्यादा प्रभाव पड़ा है। और लड़कियां जो स्कूल नहीं जाती थी, जिनको बिल्कुल लग रहा था कि नहीं एजुकेशन कुछ नहीं है, वो बहुत ज़्यादा अवेयर हुई हैं और अब स्कूल जाने के लिए बहुत तत्पर हुई हैं।
आर्थिक तंगी से मेरी पढ़ाई रुक गई थी। मलाला फंड के लोग आए, मेरे माता पिता से जागरूक करवाए और मेरे एडमिशन करवाए, तब से मेरी पढ़ाई चालू होने लगी।
फ्यूचर में इन बच्चियों को बहुत आगे बढ़ाना है, एजुकेशन के मामले में, लाइवलीहुड के मामले में इन्हें बहुत आगे ले जाना है। यही मेरा सपना है, यही मेरा प्लान भी है।
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Tozzle, and I am super excited to be hosting this Goofy block. I'd like to read you a couple of donations before the run. We have $25 from Anonymous, which reads, less than 3. We also have $10 from Anonymous, which reads, trans rights. All right, it looks like we're ready to go. And chat, I searched through all previous events for this game under the GDQ umbrella, and I couldn't find it anywhere, which means this may be the debut run of this game here in Frost Fatales 2023. I'm super excited to introduce Miss Truffles, who will be playing Tweety and the Magic Gems in the 2 CPU category.